Alright guys, this video is going to be all on how you can create an engaged community inside of your Facebook group and how to actually create content that makes people want to comment, engage, and take action inside of your community. I also want to make sure that you guys understand that the way in which we go about content creation and the way we go about judging the effectiveness of our content marketing is not so much by the engagement, which of course I will show you all of the tips and tricks in this video, but most importantly on how much money we're making. Because this channel is all about making money, is all about actually building client acquisition strategies, and having an engaged community is cool. But what is even cooler is having a community that you can get clients from, while at the same time making sure that people fall in love with you, your solution, and your business. Make sense? So you guys can see that I know what I'm talking about. Let me just show you over here my free Facebook group so that you guys can see that. Of course, you can see here I have this post that I made 4 days ago with 21 comments. This other post 67 comments. Etc. 132 comments. You see like 108 comments, 224 comments. So you guys can see that I actually know what I'm talking about, and I will actually be distilling this entire content marketing strategy with you guys. Okay. That said, if you want to get the document using this video, the one that you're seeing right now, make sure to join my free Facebook group so that you can actually access this plus all of my other documents. If you don't use Facebook that much, simply follow me on Instagram or X and DM me the word access and I will send it to you. Okay. And just a fun fact, I'm actually over here waiting for Alex Hormozis' lunch, and I just thought that it was going to be cool to record a YouTube video while I was in the waiting room, okay? So let's just get started with this, guys. The first thing that I want to let you guys know is that I've made a sequence of videos all about Facebook group growth, engagement, and monetization, and this is going to be video number 4, which is all about engagement, okay? And with this engagement video, we actually start what I call the monetization sequences. Essentially, what the monetization sequences mean, or the reason why I wanted to start with this, is because the monetization sequences means the engagement and the content, and also the actual strict monetization via appointment setting, okay? So this video is going to be just the engagement part. By this point, we've already covered how to set up your group correctly, how to grow/fill your group, specifically through organic models that you must leverage while you perform your outbound campaigns and create bangers on social media. And it's time now to monetize your audience and see how the hard work will pay off through appointment setting flows and effective content marketing. Okay, guys? So when it comes to the Facebook group, guys, the first thing that I need you guys to understand is that all of your Facebook group is essentially a container for your leads. Most of them are going to be warm leads. Some of them are going to be hot leads, but none of them are going to be strictly cold leads, especially if you grow your Facebook group using the methods that we use, which is by channeling the traffic from your social media to the Facebook group, okay? Because these people know, like, and trust you, and the Facebook group is just a way for you to monetize the people who are inside. Make sense? So let's start now with the nurturing via content marketing, because the content marketing strategy that we're going to share in this video is all about how you can actually nurture your prospects inside of the group. So I want to start off by distilling the types of content that you want to create and the cadence in which you want to post inside of the group. So back to basics, guys. Your Facebook group is a community. And the reason why most people fail at monetizing their Facebook group is simply because it feels more like a pitch fest or a webinar than it feels like a community. And yes, we're building this group to make sure that we make sales and that we separate ourselves from our competitors even more, but that will never happen if you do what they do, which is selling all of the time. Make sense? So even if we want to sell, it's just a matter of not selling 24/7. Make sense? Now, even if you're the owner of the group and they see you as the authority inside, the truth is that you need to use a content production/sharing process that allows you to cover different approaches that resonate with different groups of people at all times, okay? So in the past, I used to be a huge advocate of having a content schedule where content was either black or white. Make sense? Like, for example, you either created like character content that is just about demonstrating personality, or you created value content, which is where you demonstrate your authority in a certain thing, or you created affinity content so that you can actually demonstrate that you understand the pain points of your group members, or action content where you actually just say, hey, I want to do business, who wants to come in, okay? Nowadays, I actually changed and pivoted my mindset around it because I realized that I was seeing content the wrong way. And what I mean nowadays is that content is, like we saw in the third model, the energy you create in the metaverse. Hence why it needs to be biased and unpredictable, okay? So here's what I mean. Most people, when they start to talk about content marketing strategy, what they say is something along the lines of, hey, you need to create on Monday certain type of content, let's say value content. On Tuesdays, you need to create action content. On Thursdays, you need to create affinity content, whatever it might be. And then on Fridays, you create, I don't know, action content, okay? And the problem with this, guys, is that this doesn't allow you to actually demonstrate your unique touch to the group, okay? Instead, nowadays, what I say and what I believe is All of the content that you create should demonstrate value, should demonstrate affinity, should demonstrate your character, and should demonstrate some sort of action element. Otherwise, guess what? You're going to be just a commoditized version of the other competitor that you might have, okay? So you need to add all of these components to every single piece of content. And just for you guys to see, like, I mean, and this is not to say like the types of content you want to create, but more specifically the way I like to go around content creation is super simple. Let me actually just take this out. So the first type of content that I need you guys to really post inside of your Facebook group community, and you guys know that I really recommend all of the people who are watching this channel who want to make money to actually have a YouTube channel. Not because we are looking to make money from our YouTube channel. I mean, I don't make a single dollar from my YouTube channel, but it does allow me to get traffic to my group, to my other social media platforms, and to nurture the existing lead flow that I have from my other social media platforms. Make sense? So this is the type of content, I mean, the first type of content that you want to create though is what I call the micro VSLs or the bangers. These are proof of competence content. That's how I call them. And this is the type of content that builds trust and that reminds people that you are a savage at what you do. That said, all of these pieces of content, remember, need to be leading back to your unique mechanism. And more than that, need to be consistently bringing unique, useful insights to the marketplace so that group members get encouraged to see you as authority, whether they like you or not. You can fully base this type of content to your situational micro VSLs so you can focus on YouTube, okay? So what I do is 1 to 2 of these videos every week. And the best way is simply to post YouTube videos and send a link to your group members, okay? So an example is you add the thumbnail of the YouTube, you add a description and a title in the Facebook group post, and in the comments, you leave a link to watch in the YouTube channel, okay? Or the YouTube video that you are sharing in that specific case. What I like to do is tag everyone. People who get mad at that are going to leave you and are going to hate on you. That's cool because they're never going to buy anyways, but people who are going to be reminded. Make sense? So that's what you want to do. So these are the two examples. The second type of content is what I call opinion content or you-based type of content. And this is type of content that builds familiarity and that makes people fall in love with you instead of your competitors. Make sense? And what you gotta do at this stage, guys, and the reason why this works so well is because after studying the biggest leaders in history like Jesus, like Socrates, Julius Caesar, Caesar Augustus, Octavian, all of them were polarizing and different from people who surrounded them. So the more you're able to create an us versus them in your marketing, the more loyal your audience will be. So make sure to actually share your opinions, thoughts, and things that you like on your content. Generally speaking, here's the way I like to go around. I like to keep 75% of my group content value-based and 25% character-based. And on the flip side, I like to keep 75% of my content in my personal profiles character-based and only 25% value-based. Why? Because my personal profiles are about me, and the Facebook group or the community is about them. Make sense? At the end of the day, whether you sell B2B or B2C, people buy from people, so make sure that you actually share who you are and you don't hold anything back about who you are and what you believe, okay? I would say make one post like this every other week. What I say is, for example, this, you see opinions, ideas that I have, and these tend to work really well. Even if this is not so much for if you come, for example, from a Twitter or Instagram background, on Facebook, this is savage, okay? This is savage. So that's the second type of content. The third type of content that you can use to actually engage people, and this is like a treasure, okay? Engaging questions while using also two-step posts is where you are going to actually engage your community. So engaging questions is them type of content. Audience builders give answers, but community builders ask questions. That's what this is all about. So simply ask questions once per week on stuff related to your industry and be open about it. That's super simple. Let others engage and share their opinions so that they can actually engage and actually share their opinions. Makes sense? So an example is something like this. I simply said, who has a Facebook group would like to see how you guys are growing it on a daily/weekly basis. And I just share something and I start conversations over there, okay? Now, another example is two-step post. This is content that will either fuel your appointment setting efforts or allow you to test different angles and see if certain topics resonate with your audience. So you can squeeze as much as you want from your group by using the following structure. So I do 2 steps inside of my Facebook group, the same way in which I do giveaways on Twitter. What I do is that I use a certain angle, and if it gets lots of demand, I then create that the same angle on my YouTube video, which then I also post again inside of the Facebook group, and I give that to the people who engage on the 2-step post. Make sense? And all of these things lead back to appointment setting flows, either the actual 2-step post or people who engage on the actual post inside of Facebook. Make sense? So an example of this was this. So look at this example. I made this post that said, I found a software to automate outreach, 1,000 plus DMs per day on any platform, and double your current amount of qualified calls. Best thing, it's free. Who wants it? Guess what? Almost 250 comments I got in this post. Then, since I know that this angle worked, I made literally the same YouTube video, and you can see 465 views in 3 weeks. The video was published, and then inside of my Facebook group, what I did literally was just at the same angle, and it also got a whole bunch of reach. But most importantly, more than that reach, I now have 200 people I can message and start appointment setting conversation. That's the process, at its core. And this is something that you must do even if you create just one YouTube video per week, so that you can maximize the amount of content you create inside of the community. And if you create 2 to 3 videos per week, you can use this post every now and then simply to test different angles you thought about, or simply want to know if something can perform well before making a full YouTube video on. Okay? So that would be pretty much it for a 2-step post. The last type of post, which is more about you actually doing business with people, looks like this. And let me see how this is going. Just a second. Okay, it hasn't started yet. Cool. Harvesting type of content, guys. This is super powerful, and this is something that you could do like maybe just once per month. And it is the following way. This is the type of content that you want to create once or twice per month to get the low-hanging fruit from your community to buy your stuff. And use it every time that you make a change to your offer, maybe every single time that you have a client win or case study, or whenever you want to get clients, but limit it to once or twice per month, because otherwise you're going to be super salesy and people are going to actually feel a little bit like polarized by you in a bad way. Okay? So what I said was something like this. We'll stop our BA recruitment service by the end of the week. Before then, if you want our $3 per hour BA who can book 3 to 5 calls per day, like and comment this post, and you see 20 people who all of those people were literally book calls, because these are people who are saying, hey, I want to do business with you. You can also be even more direct and post something like, hey, I'm looking for 3 agency owners who want my direct help in scaling to 50K per month. Who wants more details on this? Comment me below and I'll reach out privately. Also, feel free to tag people you didn't close. Also, and this is a major hack that I can show you, feel free to tag people you didn't close on your sales calls in all of these posts so that you can add urgency to the factor. And let me share something that is super, super powerful, guys. And it is the fact that inside of your Facebook group, like I showed you in the previous video, you can actually enable the guide section and content tagging, okay? So if your Facebook group is set up correctly, you want your members to spend most of their time in the guide section. But that's something that you will do from your welcome post and your email marketing welcome sequences for the Facebook group, which I will talk in a separate video later on. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel if you actually find this helpful, and actually make sure to actually watch some of the other content inside of the YouTube channel if this is something that you're interested in. But listen, guys, what you should do is add your foundational micro VSLs or your macro VSL inside of your guide section, as well as your 2 steps or resources that get tons of engagements, so that more people can see them and ask them. That way, people who are new to the group by your email marketing flows always just get to the guide section, and that way, in the future, the best hits of your Facebook group, you can always leave them there to get more engagement, and most importantly, to start appointment setting flows that you will see in the later models. And this is huge, but it's pretty straightforward. Now, every time that you get a chance while having conversation with prospects, instead of sending them the training video directly in the chat, make sure to tag people in the actual piece of content so that more and more people get to see it. And this is, for example, when the asset is a micro VSL and is in the guide section. If the asset is a separate YouTube video that is not in the group, it's okay to send it directly in the chat. And you can also do this when following up with your leads. So more on this in the appointment setting model, but what you want to do is pretty much, instead of just following up in the DMs, if they are not seeing your DMs because they are not friends or maybe your message went to spam, you can tag them in the actual post like this. These are some examples for them to actually see and get a notification and see the asset. And just to finish up this video, I want to talk about micro VSL and selling content distribution. Because your Facebook group funnel or your community will be alongside your email list and your IG stories, one of the first places where you will distribute your micro VSLs and selling content once it's published. When you combine the community with YouTube, you get a tornado of content assets and nurturing that is hard to escape from. And again, pretty simple. Your YouTube will grow your group, and the content in your group will send people back to the YouTube channel / long-form nurturing assets like podcasts or blogs or whatever you're using. And here's the way it will work. Okay, so you have your new Facebook group member, which is going to have a certain amount of trust, and you have time. Okay, so regardless of the source of where you got your new group member, look at this, guys. Whenever you tag them in the welcome post, you start to increase their trust. Then they start to see your guide section. Then they start seeing your 2 steps, your situational micro VSLs, your character post, and all of these type of posts lead people back to your micro VSLs. Make sense? So it's going to create a flywheel effect that makes people buy, maybe not today, but they will buy sometime in the future. Some of them, of course, today, but you get my point. This is the way that it's going to look like. And the way that you will do this is by leaving the links in the comment section of the post, leveraging the add everyone feature to your advantage every time a micro VSL is published. Now, don't worry about people getting mad at you because chances are that they are not buyers anyways. Follow this format every time you share a new piece of content inside of the group, like I was saying before, what I do is that since I have a podcast, a YouTube channel, and I create Google Docs every single time I create a micro-VSL, I say, hey, listen to the podcast, and I add the link to the podcast, watch the YouTube video, and then leave the link to the YouTube video, read the sales letter here, I tag everyone and send people over there. So that way people see 3 comments right off the bat, get more engagement, and essentially if they are interested in that angle, they're going to watch and consume the sales letters. Make sense? 1 comment per link, and everybody tag on the sales letter. If there's no sales letter in the only video, make sure to use the everyone tag in the YouTube video. So that would be it for this video. This is how you're going to create content that engages your Facebook group, while at the same time build an actual community that wants to buy from you. If you want to do business with us, check the link in the description. You're going to see what that would look like. And that's it, guys. See you guys in the next one. Bye.